What's up, everybody? This is Captain Sexy Pants, and we're going to get right back into those good old-fashioned Funko Pop unboxing. Today, I have a special hint for you. Let's see if you can figure out what the video is about today. Please stick around, because there's a little bit of story time, too, about the time I met Bruce Campbell. Fire up that intro. Alright, let's get down to showing off this pop. So here we go. We have Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell, in the first three Evil Dead movies. There's Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness. Now this pop is particularly from Army of Darkness because of the shotgun, the boomstick, and the chainsaw here. This is kind of a plain Jane pop. There's not a whole lot going on. This looks like this is something that I just got rushed out. If you look closer here, there is not an insane amount of detail that went into this one. It kind of doesn't even necessarily look like Bruce Campbell or Ash. I mean, he does have the boomstick and the chainsaw, and he's got his S-Smart outfit on. Shop smart. Shop S-Smart. And it's just kind of an average pop. Now, normally in my videos, this would be the part in the video where I would drop a bunch of digi-nos on it, full of trivia and interesting information about the movies and about the character. But today I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to tell you about the time that I met Bruce Campbell. So I'm going to set this guy down and we'll get right into the story. I didn't forget about you guys. I just took a little vape break. So let's see. It probably has to be close to 15 years ago. 13, 15 years ago. I worked for a film festival here in Las Vegas called Cinevegas. And Cinevegas was an independent film festival. And they showed independent films that were all the rage at the time. They did the world premiere of Napoleon Dynamite there. It's a huge, huge festival. It was ran by Dennis Hopper, rest in peace. And this year, it was the premiere of a Bruce Campbell movie called My Name is Bruce. Now, My Name is Bruce never did very well, and I'm sure a lot of you probably never even heard it or even had the chance to see it. I saw it once. And when I saw it, it wasn't even finished yet. It was missing all of the music, a chunk of the sound effects. Half the special effects hadn't been added into the movie. It's called a working print. And so I got to see a working print of My Name is Bruce in the theater. Now, one of the things that was my job working for Cinevegas is I would have to run to the airport and fetch whoever was there that needed to come to the event. So some of the interesting people that I met a lady who was one of the executive producers for Red Shoe Diaries, if anybody's ever seen that. Dennis Hopper, because he was the CEO and the founder of the film festival. A couple of the people that are in the juries that would give prizes away. I met Anne Margaret. For those of you who don't know who Anne Margaret is, she was in Viva Las Vegas. She was in a bunch of those Elvis movies back then. And so I'm up in the bullpen. And the transportation director comes up and he goes, Matt. I need you to run to the airport and pick somebody up because their movie is showing in like 2 hours. Their plane was delayed. We already sent one person there. And his flight was delayed. So can you go run and grab him? So I'm like, cool. So I jump in the baller white Cadillac Escalade. And back in the day, it had the satellite radio in it. It was all tricked out. It had the big baller 22-inch rims on it. It was a sight to see. So I go to the airport and I go in, and I'm looking for a flight from Florida on American Airlines. So I got to look it up. And so I go to the gate and know that I'm picking up Bruce Campbell at this point, and the hair is literally standing up on my arms. And I see him come out of the gate, and I for the first time ever, I was actually starstruck. I'm like, oh, wow, I got to get it together. That's Bruce Campbell. It's one of my favorite actors. Oh my God, Bruce Campbell. Oh my God. So I have my Cinevegas hoodie on and my Cinevegas baseball cap. And so he comes and he actually comes up to me and he goes, hey, my name is Bruce. Are you my ride? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I totally am. And while we were sitting there just chit-chatting, he was telling me about his flight getting delayed and all this. A couple walks up to him and they're like, oh my God, Bruce Campbell, oh my God, can we please have a picture? Now, mind you, he's been on a flight from Florida to Las Vegas. It's been delayed twice, and he looked like he'd been sleeping the whole flight. And he says, I'm sorry, I'm not doing any pictures today, but I'm great at hugs and handshakes. And so he chatted with them for a few minutes, and they told him about, oh, you were the guy who helped me and my wife get together. I went and took her to see one of your movies on our first date, and it was really cool. And he's like, it's great, you guys, but I really have someplace to be, and I'm an hour late. So me and Matt here, I was like, yeah, me. We got to get to the Palms. So we go out the back way to this like little special parking lot, and we get in the car, and we're driving out of the airport. And before we get into the car, we go out to the car, and I open up the back door for him. And he goes, no, I want to ride up front. Oh, let's hang out for a bit. And I'm like, oh, all right. So then I close the door and open the front door. And we get out onto Las Vegas Boulevard to get to the Palms, which is maybe 10, 15 minutes away. And the traffic was just absolutely nuts. We got stuck in what should have been a 10-minute car ride. It took us almost 45 minutes. So now he's really late. Joking and laughing the whole time. Like every time he'd see a billboard, he'd be like, who is that guy? I've never even heard of him. Why is he on a billboard? It was so much fun. And he's playing around with the satellite radio, trying to figure out how it is. He had just started filming Burn Notice and thought it was funny that we were in a Cadillac because in the episode of Burn Notice that he had just finished shooting, that's why he was in Florida, that he just finished shooting, his character, Max, if I think his name was Max gets a Cadillac. And he always wanted a Cadillac. And the whole episode is about him in this dang Cadillac. So we're driving, we're stuck in traffic, and we're just, just small chat. And he goes, so are you going to come and see my film tonight? And it's like, oh, no, I really can't. I just don't have the time. So because I have to be to work at 5 a.m. and it's, 8 o'clock at night. I got a few more things that I have to do for Cinevegas, and then I got to get some sleep. He's like, oh, this isn't your full-time job? I'm like, no, driving people to and from the airport from the Palms is not my full-time job. And he goes, but it's the first ever screening of my film. And I'm like, it's the first ever screening of this film in Las Vegas. I know you've watched it somewhere else probably. And he's like, yeah. And he goes, well, if you don't go see it, then Matt, you're a punk-ass bitch. Yes, Bruce Campbell called me a punk-ass bitch. And he goes, I'll make sure you get tickets. And I'm like, well, you don't have to make sure you get tickets. One of the benefits to working for Cinevegas is that we don't need tickets. We can just walk in. We just have to show our badge and we can go in. And he goes, oh, that'd be cool. And he goes, well, you should check it out. And I'm like, I don't know. So I get him to the Palms, and he hustles off to go check into his room, get changed, get cleaned up before the premiere. And went up into the bullpen, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh, man. I'm never going to get a chance to do this again. I got to go see it. So I finish up with what I'm doing, clear it with the transportation manager that I can go. And so I go and I get in line, and it just so happens there are two buddies of mine that were in line, and they're huge Bruce Campbell fans, gigantic. And so I'm chatting with them, and I said, hey, you know, I work here, and I drove Bruce Campbell back from the airport. He goes, man, no, you didn't drive Bruce Campbell back from the airport. He goes, no, really? I just spent like 45 minutes with him stuck in traffic on Vegas Boulevard. Yeah. So fast forward. There's a red carpet set up. And there's like a big like divider between where the line for the people to get into the movies and the red carpet for everybody else to walk down. So we were standing right at the edge of where the partition starts, so we can see everybody come in and you know, see whoever shows up and everything. So me and my buddies are sitting there waiting, and I see Bruce Campbell come, and I'm like, yeah, see, there's Bruce Campbell. So he comes walking down the red carpet, and he gets right to where I am, turns around and says, hey Matt, thanks for the ride. My buddies flipped out. It was so cool. And he's like, so I guess you're really not a punk ass bitch. And I was like, oh my God, Bruce Campbell just put me on blast. I can't believe I heard that. And we go in and we sit down, and before the movie starts, Bruce Campbell gets up in front of the crowd in this movie theater to explain what's going on with the movie and explain that it's a work print and that it's not finished yet, blah, blah, blah. And he comes up and he goes, hello, Las Vegas, and welcome to the first ever showing of my film that I produced and directed. My name is Bruce. And everybody goes, yay! And he goes, well, it's the premiere for Las Vegas anyways. He stole my joke! I busted his chops about that, and he stole my joke. So we watch the movie, and he comes up after the film's over and answers a few questions and then gets and heads out. That is the story about how I met Bruce Campbell. I'm sure that was much more entertaining and much more engaging than me going like this. Did you know that in the first Evil Dead movie, they did a couple scenes where they all got insanely high because they heard that Jack Nicholson got insanely high because he'd never smoked drugs before, got insanely high for the drug scene in Easy Rider because he wasn't sure he could handle it, and how bad they had to, it took them 3 days to film about 35 seconds worth of film because everybody was so high. Stuff like that. So I want to say thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening to my story. What's your favorite Bruce Campbell movie? Put a link down in the comments. It can be something as small as Congo or Spider-Man, or something as big and huge as Army of Darkness, or any of the larger movies that he's been in. So in the immortal words of my favorite YouTuber of all time, Mr. Sunnyside, a peace.